Namaste, ladies and gentlemen. In the context of the various subjects we have been discussing, I thought that I will bring in some practical flavor of my own life experience. So you may like to probably call this as my autobiography, because I don't want to bore you with my life, but still I thought there's a significant amount of learning coming out of the various stages of my life, which will be connecting with my book Pragmatic Leadership, as well as the various other topics I have been talking about in the recent past. Just to give you a flavor of my childhood. So I born in 1950, just after the independence, in a family of almost 12 people. As the 12th child, you may like to probably know that, because it's very strange of late people to know that there were families which were having almost like kindergarten. There's so many people. So I born as the 12th child in the family. When I was born, probably my parents were almost looking like my grandparents. So I had the great privilege of being pampered as the last child. Obviously, when they are so old, having a grandson as the son, most likely. So I received the kind of a pampering that any child would like to have. So my childhood is more of a mixed kind of environment, mostly enjoying whatever I want. My parents were providing me, as it happens in many children's life. So that's the way I grew up, and since I was a bit naughty, they put me in the school when I was 4 years old by fudging my date of birth as I am 5 years old. So they desperately put me in the school. So I went to a small those days there was no concept of kindergarten. I joined in the first standard in a thatched kind of a school in a small town where I grew up in southern part of India. So that's where my life experience started. And it so happened on those days there is nothing called an English medium. So only vernacular medium education was available. So I started, getting my primary education in Tamil. That's being my mother tongue. Obviously, I went to a school which was teaching on a Tamil medium. So that's where the life has started. Then I grew up in a very kind of a difficult environment in the family. So while I was growing up to certain education, my father had a post-retirement employment being a medical doctor. I grew up in a family where the parents are more caring, and upbringing is a difficult task, because when you have 11 children, obviously something or the other will keep going wrong. So it's a very strange experience of growing in a big family as compared to these days where there are nuclear families, only 2 children, or many people have only 1 child, and so on. The concept of birth control was not there on those days. So my entire family, you will find that everyone had about 10 to 12 children. So only when the nature decides to stop reproduction of babies, generally the families stop producing kids. So that's the way I grew up, and of course the basic education happens to be in the vernacular medium. It's very hard to learn English or speaking in English. It's very unfortunate in India that speaking in English is considered to be a pride for everyone. It's very unfortunate. That's the way I read somewhere the Britishers that time wanted to destroy the kind of patriotism and kind of attachment to our own country. So with the result, they created this kind of fanatic approach of learning English is something is gives you a different kind of a recognition in the society. So obviously I was deprived of that kind of a privilege because over the period of time people don't want their children to call them Amma or Appa as it generally people do it in Tamil. So they want the children to call them as Mummy and Daddy. So this fancy of English still there. There are many families. They don't want their children to talk in their own mother tongue. See, mother tongue is the most critical aspect of anybody's life because the language was taught to us only based on our own understanding of this whole universe. So that means that is why it is called mother tongue, because we learned language from the mother. Such of those who have grown, who will be keen on learning another language, you will understand how difficult it is. But unconsciously we learned our mother tongue. So that's the way I grew up, and then it was a hard living that point in time. So there were no many means to get a clear perspective of how the future will unfold. So I grew up in a small town where you have a very limited exposure, and I used to go to a high school in almost like a town or a village, as you may call it. And then there used to be a road which was going from my school. I still remember. I used to look at that road and think that where this road is going, because my boundary is only limited to my house and my school. So I have not seen anything beyond that as a growing child in my high school, in the early stages of my secondary education. So I used to look at this road and wonder where this road is going. So I always was curious that one day I need to go in this road and figure out where it is going. So my concept of this whole universe is limited to that small home in which we were living, and then the primary school and the secondary school I was going. So why I am providing this background, because when I am future I am going to develop the various stages of my growth. I would like to bring in some life's lessons and share with you, which will be of great benefit for you to avoid the same kind of mistakes I would have committed in my own career. So I was wondering that where this road is going, and then after some time my father took me in the town bus, and then we went in that road first time. I was very curious to see where this road is really going, and it's going and going and going. So I was really wondering that my assumption was earlier this is going to be a boundary beyond which this road will not go anywhere. But for my strange surprise, I went to the nearest bigger city or town, or you may call it a bigger town, which is Tiruchirappalli. Trichy it is called right now. And then I just figured out, oh my God, this seemed to be a much bigger place. Because in life what I learned is that taking the big picture of going beyond and getting exposure is a much more important, valuable lesson rather than going into the school and then learning something which is bookish kind of information. So many parents are forgetting that they are providing exposure to their children is very important, rather than merely giving them many academic degrees. So this is the way my childhood went on, and with the vernacular medium I finished my school final, and I was very studious and very good in education in the first part of the primary school, and later on, because of various distractions and other kind of inputs coming in as a growing youngster, I slipped away in terms of my ranks in the class. But when I came to 9th standard, I felt that I need to take it very seriously, And then I went to my father and then asked him whether I can take a private tuition on some subjects. On those days, you need to pay some few rupees, 4 or 5 rupees for tuition for a month or so. So I started taking charge of myself even during the time when I was in the ninth standard. So I realized that nobody is going to come and tell you what you need to do in your life. So you need to visualize the situation and then take charge of the whole thing that is unfolding in your life. And then my father said reluctantly, okay, go ahead. If you want to go for a tuition, you go ahead. And being the 12th child in the family, obviously they have lost their steam in their life. And then I went for my private tuition and then preparing for my 10th, 11th standard on those days. It is called, which is the school final. And then I was trying to prepare for my exam because I started slowly dreaming that I need to go to a particular course after the secondary education, which on those days is called the pre-university course, PUC what they call it. And then there was a St. Joseph's College in Tiruchirappalli where there used to be a beautiful church in front. So I started dreaming that I need to go to that particular college only to do my pre-university. And I mentally decided that I need to go for my engineering education, which is engineering graduation. On those days there were only 3 colleges in the entire state. So I have already planned my life on my own when I was in the 9th standard and started dreaming that this is the way life will unfold. So going forward, I would like to discuss with you how one takes charge of their own life. That's what I called it as a personal leadership in my book, Pragmatic Leadership. So, and then the working towards the dream is something. Now somebody is not going to come and tell us that do this and do that. So when we are taking charge of our own life, obviously we start planning for the various actions to be taken. So I went through all these stages and then I came to my school final, and then I will tell you what happened during my school final education as well as my scoring, etc. Whether the dream unfolded the way in which I wanted or it was full of disappointment, and then what I did with those disappointments is something I will cover in my next session. So I'm sure that the purpose of this session is not to give you my autobiography, which may not be a very great interesting story for you, but I want to give you some lessons I learned out of this whole the drama I went through, which is now we call it as life, so that you will get some kind of insights as we go along, which you can pick it up and then try to use in your future life. So in summary, I started having a small town perspective, and then it broadened up a little bit when I saw the world is not that small as I was thinking. So the big picture creation is the part of the exposure that you need to give to your children. Subsequently, making a hard living and then trying to catch up whether we are doing well or not, how the life is going to unfold, and taking charge is another lesson I learned. Third aspect is nobody is going to come and tell you what you need to do with your life, and having taken the responsibility, you need to start dreaming, because dreaming is very critical and important. You will know as we go along for leadership development programs. And then when you are dreaming it, then your dream may unfold the way in which you want, it may not, and then leads to a disappointment, and how to deal with the disappointments is something which I am going to discuss in the future sessions. Thank you very much for your patient listening, and look forward to see you in many more sessions. God bless you.